welcome to the latest episode of Cooking with Coach. Today we're going to have an epic menu that we make. We're going to be making a Cuban cheeseburger called the Frita. And we're going to be making some very special tots, tater tots that is. We will have a guest chef-man in the Kunkel kitchen that will be making our tots for us, and you'll see him coming on in a little bit. So today we're going to be focusing on the making of our Cuban cheeseburger. We're going to add a little bit of a Wisconsin twist by topping it off with some nice Ellsworth cheese curds. So, our Fritas is Cuban cheeseburgers. We got them when we were in Little Havana down in the Miami area a couple years ago. They involve some ground pork, ground beef, some special ingredients, a little bit of onion. That's probably going to make me cry on the camera when I'm grating that thing up. And then we top her off with some very special potato sticks. Welcome back to Cooking with Coach. First thing that we're going to do in the process of making our Fritas is we're going to put together these special ingredients. And that involves an onion, some paprika, some garlic powder, some cumin, and some Mahomes chops. Cooking with Coach. We're now going to add our meat. We're going to choose to add 1 pound of ground pork in, and we're going to start mixing that up. And then we're going to also add in 1 pound of hamburger. So don't you add that in? And now the gooey part. We're going to mix our burger all together, our hamburger and our ground pork. Get our secret ingredients. Not so secret now because we told you about them. But get them mixed in. And once we get it all mixed together, we're then going to form it into patties. Welcome back to Cooking with Coach. Now that we have our pork, our hamburger, and our special ingredients all mixed together, we're now going to make our patties. Now we're making 8 patties out of this. So you can see I've already got it divided into 8 patty balls here, that we're going to then smash out. And then you can choose to cook them all at once if you're really, really hungry or having a party, which you probably shouldn't be having right now because of social distancing guidelines, but in the future. Or you can choose to put them in the freezer and have a Frita later. Welcome back to Cooking with Coach. We're going to, before we toss it over to our special guest cook over in the Kunkel kitchen, first let's give a little cooking tip. Now when you choose to take some of your patties and throw them in the freezer for a later date, you want to make sure that you use wax paper to divide your patties because then they'll separate pretty easily when you pull them back out of the freezer. You don't want to use parchment paper. So now we're going to throw it over to Ben Kunkel over in the Kunkel kitchen, and he's going to show you how to make our extra special tots.
Welcome back to Cooking with Coach. I'm Ben Kunkel, and today I'm making tater tots with Coach Hansen's special seasoning. You will need a baking pan, a spatula, a bag of tater tots, and the special seasoning. Then you will need to preheat the oven to the required temperature. In this case, it is 450 degrees. After the oven is preheated, you'll need to spread out the tater tots on a pan and then sprinkle some of the special seasoning on top. Next, you put the tater tots in the oven and set the timer for about 15 minutes. Welcome back. After the timer goes off, you'll need to take the tater tots out of the oven. Once you take them out of the oven, you'll need to flip them over. And then you need to sprinkle more of Coach Hanson's special seasoning on it. Then put the tots in for another 15 minutes. When they are done baking, turn the broiler on to give them a little bit more crisp. When they are done broiling, take them out and let them cool. Once they are cool, season to taste and enjoy.
Welcome back to Cooking and Coach. Hopefully, Kunkel over in the Kunkel kitchen was able to teach you a little bit about making some extra special tots. We are now ready to fry up our Fritas. So we have a nice big electric skillet that we're going to use. Quick test to make sure that's ready. We're going to get some water, put it on the pan, and if you listen very closely, you can hear a sizzle. That tells you that your pan is all ready to go. So we're going to take our patties and we're going to put them on. We have our griddle set at about 350 degrees. And we're going to fry them up. Back to Cooking with Coach. As you can see in our electric skillet, we've already flipped our patties. We want to make sure that they do not get overdone, as we want them to be nice and juicy. That is one of the characteristics of an amazing Frita, is to have a nice juicy burger. So we're going to keep flipping them periodically so that way they keep cooking, but also so that way they maintain their juices. Welcome back to Cooking with Coach. It appears as though our Frita patties are all done. Get the steam out. Woo, baby! So, our Fritas are ready to go. We can see that the juice is starting to come out a little bit. One little cooking tip for you. If you're worried about the inside and whether or not it's done or not, you can take a fork and just poke it in a little bit and move it around, and you can then see in there to see if the patty's done. Our patties are all done. We're going to flip them one more time here. And what we're going to do next is we're going to take the chef's paintbrush and we're going to put on some of our extra special Frita sauce that we made before we started filming this episode. We'll be putting this online at the end of the video for you. So we're going to add some Frita sauce. And you can decide how much you want to add on. Personally, I think the more the better. You will have the opportunity to add it on at the very end though, but you want to get some on there that is nice and warm for your Frita. And finally, like most episodes of Cooking with Coach, we have to figure out a way to make this Wisconsin style. Well, when you go to Little Havana and you order a Frita, you get a big old blanket of thick white gooey cheese on it. Now, I don't know what that gooey cheese actually is, so we decided that we're going to put on some good old Wisconsin-style cheese curds right from the Ellsworth Cheese Factory. So we're going to put some cheese curds on there. And you can decide how many curds you want to put on. And we're then going to turn the heat to about, say about 250. We're going to cover it back up for a little bit, and we're going to let the magic of the electric skillet work to make that cheese curd nice and gooey. Welcome back to Cooking with Coach. It's now time for that ever popular segment known as the halftime speech with Coach Hansen. Before we get to the speech, as you may notice, we've had to change our venue for the halftime speech because Mother Nature is watering the grass right now. So we've had to move inside, but pretty nice quarters here in the Chiefs Kingdom. So our topic today, how to pick a good restaurant. This topic came about because of the Frita that we just made. I stumbled upon the Frita when I was in Little Havana down in Miami at an amazing little restaurant called El Reyes de las Fritas, also known as the Frita King. So when you're out traveling around the world, how do you decide where to eat? A couple tips for you. First tip, if you see a long line, it probably means it's worth waiting for your food. It's worth standing in line to get that food. An hour, hour and a half, 2 hours in line, it's worth it. So if you see a restaurant and there's a long line, I'd stop, go stand in line, and let your taste buds enjoy an amazing experience. Second tip for you, don't get scared away from a restaurant that looks like a dive. Oftentimes, the best food comes from the scariest looking places, and I got great experience of that. Traveling in Kansas City to LC's Barbecue, down to Dallas, Texas, and going to a barbecue joint, even going to the Frita King. So you can't always judge the quality of the food by the look of the restaurant. Sometimes the best places, like the Anchor Bar up in good old Superior, Wisconsin, sometimes the best places don't look the best on the outside, but the food is like just a good old happy time for those taste buds in your mouth. So there's a couple tips for you as you go out and travel the world to find amazing restaurants to eat at. And to that, nothing like having some high quality H2O in your favorite Kansas City Chief glass. Welcome back to Cooking with Coach. As you can see on our plate, Chef Kunkel from Kunkel's Kitchen brought his tater tots on over, and we got them all ready to go with the special seasoning. Now it's time to build our Frita. So our cheese curds are nice and gooey now on the Frita burger. So to start things off, and you can come up with your own master craft of how you build a Frita, but this is my personal favorite. We're going to use the chef's paintbrush again. We're going to add some Frita sauce to the bottom of the bun. Now again, you can choose how much Frita sauce you add on. So we're going to add our Frita sauce. We're going to add some potato straws to it as well to give it a little bit of a crunchy texture to it. And again, you can decide how many you're going to add on. The more you add, the messier she's going to be. As you can tell, I like to have a lot of mess on mine. Then we're going to take our Frita patty off the skillet, make sure that our cheese curds do not fall off. We're going to put her right on top. And we're going to add a little more Frita sauce. The Frita sauce was made earlier in the afternoon by our assistant, Water Girl Adeline. So we're going to add some more Frita sauce onto there. Now if you want to get really tricky, you take some more of those potato straws and you carefully, Jenga-like, stack them on top of those melted cheese curds. Put that bun on top. And you have a world-class Wisconsin-style Cuban cheeseburger known as the Frita. Enjoy.